command to Major Willis Hall. All units of the 527th Engineer Battalion are represented on the field. From your left to right, the units represented are Headquarters Company, Ruston, commanded by Captain Robert Bratton and assisted by First Sergeant Alan Knight. Forward Support Company, Ruston, commanded by Captain Jason Warren and assisted by First Sergeant Richard Robinson. 844th Horizontal Company, Rear, Ruston, West Monroe, Pineville, commanded by First Lieutenant Marquita Sarkey and assisted by First Sergeant Erwin Billy. 1022nd Vertical Company, Marksville, Pineville, commanded by First Lieutenant Brad Campbell and assisted by First Sergeant Chad McNeil. 1022nd Vertical Company, West Monroe, Bossier City, and Ruston, commanded by First Lieutenant Kelly Hudson and assisted by First Sergeant Jonathan Chapman. The color guard presenting the national flag in the 527th Engineer Battalion colors is led by 527th Engineer Battalion Command Sergeant Major Sud Robertson. Please enjoy today's ceremony.
Sound, attention! Come in! Attention! Come in! Attention! Copy. Attention! Come in! Attention! Company! Attention! Sound, attendance, go! Bring your units to present arms. Present home. Present home. Present home. Present home. Present home. Start the planes for me. Bring your units to oil arms and parade west. Order! Halt! Parade ready! 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 Parade ready!
The senior commander for today's ceremony is Major General Glenn H. Curtis, the Adjutant General of the Louisiana National Guard. The commander of troops is Major Stuart Adams. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, rendering of honors, and remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Chad Reister.
Bring your units to attention and present arms. Come in, attention, good. Present, good. Come in, attention, good. Present, on. Come in, attention, present, on. Come in, attention, good. Present, good. Come in, attention, present,
Chaplain Reiser will lead us now in the invocation.
Will you please join me? To the God of heaven and earth, we come today with gratitude for the blessings of Colonel Conley's leadership of the 527. We ask that you will continue blessing him upon his next level in the military career. O wise God, we ask that you grant Major Hall the wisdom in his leadership, to strengthen his command, and the grace in his actions. Bestow upon him your mercy and your peace as he leads the 527. Grant his family the strength to bear him up, grace to support him, and patience in his new assignment. Help us to follow his leadership. Give to us what we need to accomplish the mission before us. To the God of heaven and earth, the Father of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce the official party and other distinguished guests. Major General Glenn H. Curtis, the Adjutant General, Louisiana National Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Willard B. Conley, Outgoing Commander, 527th Engineer Battalion. Major Willis Hall, Incoming Commander, 527th Engineer Battalion. Colonel Rodney Payne, Commander, 225th Engineer Brigade. Chief Warrant Kevin Dares, State Command Chief Warrant Officer. Command Sergeant Major James Mays, State Senior Enlisted Advisor. Command Sergeant Major Brent Barnett, Senior Enlisted Advisor, 225th Engineer Brigade. Also with us today, Major General Stephen Davidy, Assistant Adjutant General. Brigadier General Joanne Sheridan, Assistant Adjutant General, Army. Brigadier General Barry Keeling, Director of Joint Staff. Command Sergeant Major Robert Strivada, Senior Enlisted Advisor, Army. Brigadier General Retired Owen Monconduit, State Contracting Officer. Colonel Ron Spooky, former battalion commander, and Colonel Danny Bordelon, former battalion commander. We welcome all other distinguished guests, commanders, senior enlisted advisors, family, and friends. Major Willis Hall and Lieutenant Conley will now inspect the formation in a customary tradition known as trooping the line. By inspecting his soldier, a command is able to judge for himself their fitness and readiness to do battle. It also provides the soldiers an opportunity to view their commander, and they are thus able to recognize him on the battlefield. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Conley is able to view for the last time the soldiers he has faithfully led for over 3 years. Today's change of command ceremony signifies the end of one chapter and the beginning of another in the vast heritage of the National Guard in north-central Louisiana. The history and lineage of the National Guard units from which this unit evolved can be traced back over 200 years. Records in the Louisiana National Guard archives indicate that units made up today's 527 entered federal service in support of the Spanish-American War, the Mexican border incident, World War I, and World War II. 527 units were primarily infantry in the early days, but have also included coastal artillery and maintenance units. In 1973, area units were last recognized to the engineers, thus our designation, the 527th Engineer Battalion. Since its birth in 1973, the 527th Engineer Battalion has built an impressive reputation. Units of this battalion have served the state of Louisiana during many disasters and emergencies. In 1978, Bossier City tornado. 1979, New Orleans police strike. 1982, ice storm, Ruston. 1982, water shortage, Colfax. 1983, flood duty in central Louisiana and Angola. Tornadoes in Manny and Alva. 1987, prison riots in Oakdale. 1982, Hurricane Andrew. 1992, Arcadia tornado. 1993, Sabine Parish and Shoe tornadoes. 1994, North Louisiana ice storm. 1997 East Louisiana floods, 1999 Benton tornadoes, 2000 tornadoes in Bossier City, Minden, and Castor, 2005 Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, 2008 Hurricanes Ike and Gustav, 2010 Operation Deepwater Horizon BP oil spill. Members have also participated in overseas training missions in the United Kingdom, Norway, Italy, the Bahamas, Jordan, Honduras, Belize, and Haiti. In December 1990, the 527th was called to active duty by the President in support of Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. The unit served with pride and distinction under harsh environmental conditions and once again proved its worth. In January 2003, the 527th was once again called to active duty by the President in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. The unit served with pride and distinction on 2 airfields and various forward operating bases throughout the country of Afghanistan. In 2005, the battalion mobilized 437 soldiers to support emergency operations in preparation for Katrina and Rita, and in South Louisiana. The battalion reported for state active duty service within 6 hours of the Governor's declaration for emergency readiness. The battalion provided 2 ready reaction forces to the Superdome and 3 engineer work teams. The battalion supported the evacuation of both the Superdome and the Morial Convention Center, while removing debris in St. Bernard and Plaquemines Parish. The 527th repaired levees, performed search and rescue missions, and rescued 137 civilians in boats and high water vehicles. The 527th Engineer Battalion is a proud and capable unit with the heritage and the accomplishments few units can boast. This great legacy has been influenced by many commanders, past and present, and serves as the foundation upon which future commanders can build. Today, this legacy will be passed from one commander to another, ensuring the continuity of the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem.
Radio units to attention.
The commander of troops will now move the colors forward. The very soul of the military unit is symbolized by the colors under which it trains and fights. From the earliest of time, warriors have used a banner or other symbols to identify specific units and serve as a rallying point for troops. In medieval times, the standard or banner was used to signal a general assault and accompanied by a command to advance your formations. After a battle, the unit whose colors remained flying was the victor. Today, the organizational colors, with battle streamers attached, proceed in unit formations during ceremonies to signify their presence. The streamers represent the organization's participation during past battles. These remind us of the glories of the past, stand guard over the present, and provide inspiration for the future.
Sir, the colors are present.
Present the command.
Radio units to present order. Present. Hold. Present. Hold. Present. Hold. Present. Hold. Present. Hold. Detachment. Present. Order.
Please be seated.
Bring it in the order of arms and parade west.
And now, in a time-honored tradition, Lieutenant Colonel Willard B. Conley will pass the organizational colors to Major General Glenn Curtis to Major Willis Hall, assisted by Command Sergeant Major Sud Robinson. Command Sergeant Major Robertson, the individual charged by tradition with the safeguarding, care, and display of the colors during peace and war, will then pass the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Conley. Lieutenant Colonel Conley, in passing of the colors to Major General Glenn Curtis, relinquishes command of the 527th Engineer Battalion. Major General Glenn Curtis, in passing the colors to Major Hall, symbolically passes the legal and moral responsibility for the accomplishment of all missions. He also reaffirms the trust and confidence that he places in Major Hall. Major Hall returns the colors to Command Sergeant Major Robertson, who places them in the custody of the Color Guard. Assumption of command orders by authority of Chapter 2, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the 527th Engineer Battalion, Willis B. Hall, Major Commanding.
Bring your units to attention. Company, let's move.
Company, let's in. Move. Company, let's in.
Company, let's shoot.
Company, let's in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Major General Curtis will now present Lieutenant Colonel Conley with the Meritorious Service Medal in recognition of his service to the 527th Engineer Battalion and the Louisiana Army National Guard. Attention to orders. The Meritorious Service Medal is presented to Lieutenant Colonel Conley for exceptional meritorious service during the period of 1 September 2010 until 1 November 2013. While serving as the battalion commander, the 527th Engineer Battalion, Ruston, Louisiana. Your loyalty, dedication, and untiring efforts as the 527th Engineer Battalion commander has made a lasting impression on the soldiers and officers of your command. Your performance is in keeping with the highest tradition of today's fighting forces and has brought great credit upon yourself, the 527th Engineer Battalion, the 225th Engineer Brigade, and the Louisiana Army National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Bring your units to parade west. Parade west.
Parade, red. Parade, red.
Parade west. Parade west. Parade west.
On behalf of the soldiers and families of the 527th Engineer Battalion, we would like to present Lieutenant Colonel Conley's mother, Anne, with a bouquet of open red roses in appreciation of her support of her son throughout his time as commander of the 527th Engineer Battalion and his entire military career. Major Hall's wife, Felicia, is being presented a bouquet of closed yellow roses, which marks a new beginning in the 527th Engineer Battalion and the new friendships she will form. Curtis for his remarks.
All right, good morning. Joe Dabney, Joe Sheridan, Joe Keeling, Joe Monconduit, who's incognito back there. Chief Dares, Command Sergeant Major Mays. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow soldiers, it is indeed an honor to be here this morning. Before I forget and before I go much further, I know I've got some 527th alumni on my right and my left. I'm going to ask them to stand up just to show these young soldiers some of the support that continues to come around to the 527. So if you're in the 527, stand up, please. Thank y'all for being here. Before I get into talking about our commanders for just a few minutes, first I want to talk to the soldiers, and I'm trying to do this on every occasion I get. You heard the history of the 527th earlier. I deal with more than about the last 10 to 11, maybe 12 years now. And I try to tell our guardsmen all the time, that you're unbelievable in what you do, what your country has asked you to do in recent years and what the state has asked you to do. And you just continue to answer those calls. Whether it's a deployment into Afghanistan, or whether it's the natural disasters we've been through the last 10 years. You never ask us why. You just load your bags up and go, and put careers and families on hold, and just continue to lean forward. And so for that, I'm very thankful for your willingness to serve this nation like you do. There's a percentage I like to use too. If you look at today's military in total, in the population of the United States, less than 1% of our citizens are willing to wear a uniform in defense of this country, and you are in that 1%. And so I really thank you for that, and thank you for your willingness to support our nation and our state. And I will tell you, you do a phenomenal job at it, and you look phenomenal out there this morning in ranks. Change of command ceremonies are about leadership, and we have two great leaders here today that we're honoring. Lieutenant Colonel Conley, Lieutenant Major Hall. And I would like to offer you a quote from Harry Truman to kind of kick this off. And I quote, "Men make history and not the other way around. In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs only when courage, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better." End quote. I can tell you, I know both of these guys personally, and they epitomize that quote. And in the Louisiana National Guard in particular, we expect that of every leader, to impact our society and our nation in a very positive way. Colonel Conley has had a tremendous career with the Guard, plus he has a private sector job he's been very, very successful in. But we've asked him, to take various assignments throughout his career, all of them in higher and higher levels of responsibility, and every one of them he's performed in a phenomenal fashion, which led to the opportunity for him to be a battalion commander. And that's an achievement that very few soldiers and officers ever get to achieve. And so, Will, you've done a phenomenal job. Thank you very much for taking care of this great unit the last couple of years. We owe you that gratitude for that commitment. Now, Will move on. He's not taking the rucksack off. He's moving on to be the 225th Brigade XO. And so he'll take on the new challenges as they come forward. Major Hall, also, tremendous success throughout his career. But before I talk about him a little bit, I want to talk about his wife, Felicia. Felicia, I just want to thank you for the support that you've given Major Hall throughout his career. Having a wife, I know what it is for those of us in uniform. We sign up for this stuff, we volunteer for it. Although we'll tell you we don't want to deploy and we hate it and how bad it is, we really want to go. But we know we couldn't do it without the support of our families, and particularly what you've done for Willis, so that he can do that, keeping the household together, making all the ball games and practices or whatever it is, so that he can serve his state and his nation. It's a team effort, and I thank you for that. This country owes you a great debt of gratitude in the state, so thank you for supporting him and supporting our nation. Again, Major Hall is no stranger to success. He's no stranger to the 527th. He commanded what was the Marksville unit, used to be in the 527th. and did a great job of it. He's a combat veteran on a couple of different deployments. He supported all of the state disasters that we've been in. Again, Willis has just answered the call every time. And so his career path and being a team player and being a great leader have led him where he is today with the opportunity to command the great 527th Engineer Battalion. And I think the motto is still anything, anytime, anywhere. Oh, is that right? Yeah, well, it's still true. It is very true with the way that y'all perform. So with that, Willis, again, congratulations on the new command. Again, Sergeant Major Robinson, the troops look great today. Thank you all for being here. May God bless you and God bless America. Thanks.
Thank you, General Curtis. Now it is my pleasure to call on the outgoing 527 Engineer Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Willard Conley.
First of all, it is great to see so many people here today, friends and family and past. I don't know if it's an indication of the great unit that the 527th is, or is y'all just glad to see me legally? So, regardless of that fact, I'll take credit for it. Major General Curtis, Major General Dabney, General Sheridan, General Field, General Mock, do it. Sergeant Major Mays, Stairs. Thank y'all for attending. Friends, family, guests, if it wasn't for all of y'all's influence and all of y'all's support throughout the years in the military, I wouldn't be here today as an outgoing commander, and I do appreciate the effort. General Curtis, thank you for allowing me to lead the finest soldiers in the military for over 3 years. It's been my honor to serve the 527th these past few years, and I trust in me is deeply appreciated. I hope that I have not let you down. I would also like to thank my mentors throughout the years for making me the officer and the person that I am today. People by the name of Hammett, Piper, Cook, Price, Huff, Stuckey, Patterson, Monconduit, Landino, and even you, General Curtis. Your influence and guidance has shaped me into becoming the leader that I am today and a better person. So technically, if I've done anything wrong over the last few years in my command, it's your fault. It's not mine. To Lane, to Sud, you both held a very difficult position within the battalion in trying to keep me grounded and trying to keep me under control. I could not have asked for two finer soldiers as my sergeant majors to help keep me going that way. Your influence on me will help me in the future, and your patience with me, I'm proud to say, has paid off. I'm finally leaving. So, I'm proud to count you amongst my friends. Your care and love for the soldiers that you've showed me has taught me a lot, and it'll stay with me for the rest of my life. Major Adams, no more could have been asked for you during my time as commander. You embodied the very meaning of loyalty, both as my adjutant and now as my executive officer. There are not many people in the world that have earned my trust over the years, but your service to the battalion and to the soldiers of the 527th have placed you at the top of that list. Thank you. To my mother and Charles, thank you for your support over the years. You both have helped me through some very dark times in my life the last few years, and you stood by me when others did not. I hope that everyone here has someone in their life that is special to them as you are to me, and I hope that they can count on them when they need them. I love you. To Major Hall, congratulations on your command, brother. Trust the soldiers of the 527th. They'll do whatever is dictated by the mission and whatever you ask them to do with the highest degree of professionalism. They will give you their all, and I know in time that you will give them back to you. For every funeral that you attend, for every door that is open for counseling that you entertain, for every visit to the hospital in the middle of the night, for every prayer that you say for your soldiers for protection, for every house that is burnt down and soldiers that have lost things and families that have been touched. I promise you that all the CCIRs and stuff that you encounter as a commander will make you a stronger leader. Embrace them, become part of the soldiers, listen to their needs, and you'll be better for it. And finally, to the soldiers of the 527th Engineer Battalion, I wholeheartedly thank you for your loyalty and your service over the past 3+ years. Failure was never an option with such a strong staff and professional soldiers, so I kind of had it easy as a commander. You responded to the call from our state as well as from a grateful nation, served in floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, and even to the call of combat. Never did you falter in your undertakings. I am truly humbled to have served with you, not just as soldiers, but men and women of such high moral character, who always place themselves behind the needs of others. You're the epitome of the word hero and the living embodiment of our standard, anything, anytime, anywhere. And I salute you. I know there are many that I have forgotten to thank, and I apologize. Time has been short. There have been so many that have made this opportunity for me, and I've had the greatest experience in my military career leading the 527th. May God bless you all. May God bless the great state of Louisiana, and in these trying times in our country now more than ever, may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Conley. It is my honor to introduce the new 527th Engineer Battalion Commander, Major Willis Hall.
John Curtis, other general officers, Colonel Payne, CW5 Dares, Command Sergeant Major Mays, past commanders of the 527th Engineer Battalion, fellow guardsmen, other distinguished guests, family and friends, thank you for being here today. To my mother and father, thank you for your love and your guidance and having such a positive impact on my life. To my lovely wife Felicia and my children Eric and Dylan, thank you for your enduring support. You all mean the world to me. Lieutenant Colonel Conley, congratulations, sir, on an outstanding command tour, and thank you for all your contributions to this great battalion. It was an honor serving with you in Iraq and now following in your footsteps here at the 527th, where you've clearly established conditions for success. Throughout my career, I've been the benefactor of first-class leadership, and I'd be remiss not to acknowledge some individuals who played a significant role in my development. Brigadier General Mockendew, Colonel Waddell, Colonel DeVille, Colonel Luce, and Sergeant First Class Roland Dupree, my first platoon sergeant, as well as Sergeant Major Lane Lavaspear, who's my first sergeant. These warriors lead by example and have taught me so much. General Curtis, thank you for your confidence, sir, and for giving me the privilege of serving the 527th as battalion commander. I'm truly grateful. Colonel Payne, I'm excited to be back on the castle team. I have utmost respect for your leadership, and I'm eager to join my fellow commanders in accomplishing the important work at hand. Soldiers of the 527th, a lot has changed since I enlisted in the Guard over 20 years ago. We've transformed as an organization in many ways, but while differences exist, as I look before me right now, I'm powerfully reminded that some things never change. You, the soldiers on the ground, remain our most precious resource in the Army. I thank you for your service. I thank your families for their support, and I commit to you that I will work tirelessly to ensure your well-being remains a top priority and that your families are taken care of. I'm honored to stand before you as your battalion commander, and I firmly believe that leading equals serving. And I'm eager to join you in pushing forward to achieve new heights here at the 527th. This battalion has a long, rich history of excellence, but the story is not over. Command Sergeant Major Robertson and I will do our absolute best to help every soldier in this battalion reach their full potential through professional education, dynamic training, and maintaining high esprit de corps. As citizen soldiers, you represent the highest national values and carry forth the noble tradition of the militia, which spans back to the formation of our great nation. Like our forefathers, we come from all walks of life, but we stand ready to answer freedom's call and to live true to our motto, anything, anytime, anywhere. Excellence.
Thank you, Major Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the retiring of colors and the playing and singing of the Army song.
Bring your ears to attention. Company, team, move.
Company, attention, move. Attention.
Company, attention. Company, attention. Detachment, hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the exiting of the official party.
Take charge of your units.
Thank you for sharing this special event with the 527th Engineer Battalion. Refreshments will be served inside the 527th conference room. Everyone is welcome.